The second quarter here in the elimination final. It's the Turtles that lead by 10 points, and Epping with the opening clearance. They're able to get a high ball towards half forward. LaRossi was under it but couldn't take the mark, and the umpire says he will have it.
Yeah, and I've seen Sirianni standing next to McAfee, so I don't know if that's just a temporary thing or whether they've made that switch, Epping.
So the ball will be tossed up again. Tap coming from Fleming. That ball not going anywhere. Umpire says I'll have it again.
Well, McAfee has had a good impact on the start of this game, so maybe they've thought this tag wasn't working.
The tap from Gillard went straight to LaRossi, and the umpire said he didn't make an attempt to get rid of the footy, so it's going to be Moroney now who's got the footy at half back. Told to move it along, and he's going to go towards the Gill direction, who almost had to take it away from him by Conway, but umpire said that Gill didn't complete the mark.
And Gill had a first grab, and as he was falling to the ground, he got the second grab, and it just fell out of his grasp. He held it for another half a second. It would have been paid, I believe.
Waldron through the middle of the ground to Gillard, but then Sirianni was under pressure, lost the footy. Umpire lets it roll. It's Moroney now. Great handball through now to Russian McCoach, who's able to get a booming ball towards half forward, and a great spoil from Aquilina, although it didn't get the distance he would have liked. Gill able to tap it forward. Handball now here for Cartasano, 40 out from goal. Chipping ball, not 15. Still a chance here for Ben Rowe, who was trying to tap it to a teammate. Didn't get to him. Now it's running away with it is James Tadd. He kicks a good one to Latina in the middle of the ground. He gets it back to... Well, not to Tad on that occasion. It's Olivo who goes towards half forward. Still the numbers here with Epping Wilkins. And then it's Milne who rugby tries that one over the line.
Good driving in heavy traffic by James Ted then. He grabbed the ball. There was planes around him and he was able to sprint through a small gap.
Boundary throwing just outside forward 50 for Epping Pavilion side. Good crowd building here at Laylaw Reserve. Tap from Fleming. Still a chance for LaRossi, who tried to lay a bump on Fleming, and then Milne again sees that ball over the line. I feel like Tim McAfee's had a lot of the ball, but you feel like he could still be a little bit more efficient with it.
Yeah, I think that could be said for the whole Old Eltham team as well, just with their forward 50 entries, but McAfee is able to get a lot of it.
So Judd this time with the clearance. He gets it inside 50 with a rainmaker. Opportunity now for LaRossi and Alfonsi. Didn't get to any of those. Turtles now arriving in numbers to try and settle this footy, and again the boundary line beats everybody. We'll have another ball up.
Now, if you're just looking at the two teams throughout the year, you'd think that Old Eltham Collegians would be the better pressure team. I think Epping are matching them at that at the moment. They'll probably need to continue that if they get a chance to win.
So boundary throw in same spot. Gillard, Judd, got it off to a teammate in Tad. He goes inside 50, but Johnston front spot takes the mark over Racklin. And he's going to switch this one over to McAfee, who hasn't minded the back pocket, trying to just set things up. He gets it over to his skipper, Russian McCoach, who's deep inside defensive 50. Hasn't got too many options. Opts for the broadcast side. He's got two on one here, and Cox able to take the simple mark. Handball now for McDonough. He goes down the line. Easy one for Gill. Gill's right in front of our commentary position. He's got McAfee as a short option. Instead, he's going to chip this one forward to Ben Cox. McAfee keeps running. Henwood right there with him. Cox called to play on. Sends this one to the pocket inside 50. Oh, big fly coming there from Malone, but umpire says that Malone pushed in the back in the process, and it's going to be won by Epping in the back pocket here.
Yeah, no mark by Malone, but it looked good from our angle.
So the Blues now will just drive this one straight through the corridor. Ball hits ground level. Robertson lost the footy. Turtles with numbers, but Epping do well to hold this up. And we'll have a ball up in the middle.
I think what Epping got to be careful of is Rustin McCoach getting into space, because he's such a long kick and he's very penetrating. They just can't afford to let him get free for the easy sideways chip.
McAfee just got rid of the football. It ricocheted back to Fleming, who kicks it inside 50. Ball hits ground level. Taylor almost held without it. Cleary now spinning and then getting lost in the tackle. Was just outside forward 50 for the Turtles. There's been no score in the first 5 minutes of this second term, so scores as per quarter time. Here's Russian McCoach barging through the middle. Almost got it out to Burns. Epping going to win the football back instead, although Hoare overran the footy. And then another tackle in short. Umpire says he's dived on it. And holding the footy is going to work in favour of Old Eltham Collegians and Brent McAfee, who will kick from just outside 50 slide angle.
And he's into about a 2 kilometre an hour breeze. I think he'll probably just have the distance here.
So we'll see what McCaffer's got. He's kicked 11 goals this year. Been an outstanding recruit for Old Eltham Collegians, as we've come to expect. He's already had his hands on the footy quite a bit early in this game. He'll look to get his side's 4th of the afternoon. McCaffer from 55 metres out comes in. He hasn't got the distance there. It's going to go towards the point post. Almost a mark taken by McDonough. Ball staying in play for the moment. Keys runs onto this one. Tried to chip it in, then lost the footy completely. Forced to handball it back, but his teammate was under pressure. Now cleared away here by Henwood. He gets it down the line. Chance for Latina. Spoiled away by Johnston. Big tackle laid by the Blues, and they win the ball back. Now it's a foot race towards half forward. Alice there trying to apply the pressure. A lot of numbers around as well again. And there was, I think, Gillard as well, but we'll have a ball up between wing and half forward.
I'm not sure who all they were, but it was good defensive work by the Turtles there, because the Epping player was almost off to the races.
Tap from Gillard. Milne's handball intercepted, picked up by McCaffer, who's just able to slam it onto the boot. Trying to get a leap there was Aquilina, was nowhere near it. Judd was able to do a clever tap back, and it works for the Blues to keep it in play, and then not getting the bounce was Aquilina. Almost won the ball back. He's going to lay the tackle instead. And another ball up.
I noticed Gillard's in the ruck is getting his hands on the ball first a lot. So if he can really hit that to advantage, that'll be good for the Blues.
No player winning the tap there. Hoare at the back of the pack. Tries to shrug off the tackle. Got the handball away. Just got the kick. Might bounce here for Wilkins. He's able to get to space. Wilkins with a shot on goal. And he's missed to the right-hand side. So a 4th behind for Wilkins, for Epping rather. They move to 1-4-10 the Blues. Old Eltham to 3-1-19. Another opportunity missed there, Tim.
That was a brilliant chance there for Wilkins, just strolling into goal from about 20 metres, and you could see from the look on his face he knew he should have kicked that one.
Maroney's cleared this one all the way to Fleming, who's on the pavilion side. He's been able to find a teammate. And now they go towards half forward. And again, another downfield free kick. So Keys has got it just outside forward 50. Waste no time because Burns is out the back. Epping get there. They're able to spoil it. They rush it through for a behind. Actually picked up in the end by Cox, who was driven to the ground. And in the end, it's a rush behind for the Turtles. So it's now 3-2-20 Old Eltham. Epping a 1-4-10. 7.5 gone second quarter. The Blues will look to clear things away. A few dark clouds ahead, but they seem to be peering away from Layla Reserve rather than coming towards it. It's an intercept meanwhile. The Turtles have a chance here. Malone at the top of the goal square. And they're able to make it work. Malone gets his 2nd of the afternoon. And Old Eltham moves to 4-2-26. Epping 1-4-10. And just a defensive exit there, Tim. Not good enough for the Blues.
No, not at all. And you've got to say Epping have probably in this match been the better team in terms of their kicking efficiency. But that's a really costly error there. And that's Malone for the 2nd time in this match, capitalising on an Epping error to kick a goal. And now he's got 2 for the match.
So 8.5 minutes gone now in this second quarter. After Epping had kicked the first of the day, the Turtles have kicked the last 4. So back in the middle, we'll have a secondary stoppage.
Yeah, and it's getting that 4 goals in a row now is getting to a bit of a danger stage for Epping. They really need to peg one back here.
Gillard on his own in the ruck, but it's going to be one here by Milne. He ducked some way through traffic and then just got the handball away. Went straight, however, to Gillard, who sends a booming ball inside 50. Kavanagh with a big fist. Maroney. Gavalucci lost the footy. Picked up now by LaRossi, 45 out. He's going to send this one towards the pocket. Chance here for the Blues. It's Wilkins, who steps back, tries to get away from his opponent. Then with the non-preferred, sends it to the top of the goal square. Turtles with numbers. Johnson tackled and forced to concede. They behind. So Epping a 1-5-11 now. Old Eltham 4-2-26. 9.25 minutes gone. Turtles waste no time in their exiting, but it actually went out of bounds on the full. So they were looking for Milne on the pavilion side, but it went too wide, and Epping will have another chance to enter attacking 50. Very high ball again towards the pocket. Trying to get there is Racklin. Still a chance here for the Blues. Kavanagh. There's another rush behind. There's a whistle. I think he's going to be asked to go back. He is.
That was the 2nd kick out in a row. Old Eltham are really keen to go quickly. Looks to be Maroney, I believe, taking the kick out.
So this time they opt to go towards the broadcast side. Robertson up against Waldron. Waldron got a hand onto it, trying to come in and assist his Wilkins. Rowe now trying to paddle it forward here for the Turtles. Got it over to Cox. Quick tap from Vindonopoulos, got to Robertson, but then immediately it's a tackle. And immediately we'll have another ball up.
And that could have been a message from Matthew Sleeman just at quarter time, because in that first quarter, Old Eltham were pretty hesitant coming out of their defensive 50.
Almost cleared by Cleary. Cartasano wins it back for the Turtles instead, but that ball looks like it's going to be too wide. It doesn't matter. Conway will take the mark right in front of our commentary position. He's going to play on. A beautiful kick towards half forward, because all on his own on that occasion was Corey Middleton. And then he's going to go to Alfonsi in the pocket. That might be too wide. Umpire says yes, it was.
That was really a dreadful kick, because, he's only 60 metres out, and even if the guy marked it on the boundary line, it was going to be a very, very difficult shot for goal.
Vindonopoulos takes the mark. He's at half-back, broadcast side. Not sure where he wants to go with this kick. He sends it to a big pack of players, and then it rebounds off the chest of Cleary, and that ball goes out of bounds. So boundary throwing between wing and half forward for Epping. So the ball gets tossed back into the field of play. A tap again from Gillard. Middleton at the bottom of the pack. So we'll have another stoppage pretty much in the same position. Cleary doing the ruck work, but Gillard having no problems there. Almost a kick away there from Sirianni towards half forward for Epping. And again, maybe Laylaw reserve not big enough. Lots of boundary throwing in this game today.
It's probably a bit smaller than the wide open spaces at Epping's home ground, but they need to adjust quickly, because they don't want to be 3 or 4 or 5 goals down at half time.
Tap coming from Gillard, and then secondary tap from Judd, gets it inside 50. Chance for Wilkins, almost caught high, lost the footy anyway. Alfonsi, that footy dropped as well. He's clearing now for Old Eltham, driven into, now cleared by Bodie Moroney. Bouncing ball, might work out here for Cartasano. Now it's Milne, and the Turtles are away in the middle of the ground. Here's Murphy, takes a bounce in the middle of Laylaw reserve, sends it towards the Keys direction. Gleeson in front, almost gave away, I was going to say yes, did give away the free kick. And Harley Gleeson will take it. So Gleeson, not many options he likes on the pavilion side, so he goes the other direction, and it worked out well, because Middleton will take the mark. Reckon he was off there.
Wanted to play on, but
it was clear he was right there, ready for him.
Yeah.
This is the kick. Epping generally look in the middle of the ground.
And they're doing the same again, although slightly favoured to the broadcast side. It worked out well. Racklin still just outside, attacking 50. Set sail for home. Got a chance here for LaRossi, who's out the back. And he takes a brilliant mark. Luke LaRossi, one of the smallest men on the field. And from the boundary line, he's going to look to get Epping second.
Well, that's right. And that's a big tick for the little guys, because he didn't look like any chance to get that.
And
but he did
plays
that.
on, and he kicks a behind.
Oh, and another costly miss by Epping. Now, they're still in general play about even, but they can't afford to, they're 13 points down. They can't afford to keep missing these chances. It's going to come back to bite them unless they can correct that.
4-2 plays 1-7 in this fixture now. 13 points for Old Eltham. Here's Russian McCoach. Very, very long kick. Trying to fly high there was Dallas Taylor. Gave away the free kick anyway. Turtles are going to keep moving towards half forward, and they're out here. Here's a chance now inside 50 from Jack Fitzgerald. Bouncing ball. Works for Burns. Burns snaps around with the right, and Malone in front. And caught out his defender who was behind him, and Malone now can look for a third.
Now, that all came from the big booming kick by Rustin McCoach from full back in the kicking. He ran about his 10 metres, and the ball almost went to the centre.
It's so pivotal, that kick out from full back, because it just offsets any defensive zone that Epping have.
Malone comes in and makes no mistake. He's got 3. Old Eltham Collegians have 5, and they move to 5-2-32. Epping are 1-7-13, and the further and further this margin extends, the costlier those behinds are starting to become for the Blues.
Epping can't afford to drop their head, though, at this stage. As you mentioned just before, Doug, they've been in this contest. They are getting those inside 50s, so it's just a matter of being able to capitalise on those chances. And now, with the margin slipping out to the 19 points, they've just got to make sure they can hang on here.
Comes into this game, of course, with 8 majors in his last 2 encounters. That's 11 now in his last 2.5 games, pretty much. Kieran Malone. Been fantastic, as we said, since coming back to the club after some time away. Clearance here for Vidinopoulos. Bouncing ball between the centre of the ground and half forward. Turtles doing well to push this one towards the 50-metre line. Murphy lost the footy. Olivo in there as well for Epping. Spills away. Still a chance for Old Eltham, rather. Vidinopoulos in there again. Trying to push his way out. Umpire just hovering, and now he'll take it.
Yeah, it was like watching about a dozen guys in a phone booth there trying to squabble over the ball. It was almost inevitably going to be a ball up.
On the paint of 50, this ball gets tossed back in. Borden in the ruck. Russian McCoach there as well. Handball out the back of the pack. McCaffer quickly gets boot to ball. Senses inside 50, almost for Gill, who flew from the back. Gleeson now at the back of the pack. Lost the footy. Malone swings around. Didn't get the purchase on the kick. But they're under all sorts of pressure, the Blues, as we get another stoppage just near the goal square.
Yeah, it could have been a miracle goal from Malone, but also I think he was lucky he got boot to ball. Otherwise, it would have been a free against him.
Here's Gill. Almost a chance there for Old Eltham. At the back, it's cleared by Gleeson, but it's all Old Eltham. Mark dropped by Fleming, just got boot to ball in time. Very high kick towards the pocket. Malone again, front spot. Key's got a boot to it, and an Aquilina. He'll try his luck with a big torp. Fleming coming in again. He takes the mark just outside 50. Fleming decides to go back on his mark.
And I don't think he's got the journey here, but we'll see.
Well, he's got Gavalucci all on his own here on the broadcast side. Fleming, 60 out from goal. It's a floating footy. Gill came from the back as well. And it hits the behind post, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Just saw there, twice consecutive Epping were just under so much pressure. They just had to bomb the ball out. And Old Eltham have done a good job the last couple of minutes just being able to lock it inside their forward 50. 17
and a half minutes gone, second quarter. Turtles lead by 19 points. Tap again coming from Borden, trying to kick that one in mid-air. I'm not sure who that was, but it was from the Turtles. It's cleared here by Epping, but maybe over momentarily. Epping behind with a 2-on-1, but it's going to be Cooper Scott, who does really well to hold that up. Does the 21-year-old. Just his 10th senior game, Cooper Scott.
Yeah, great effort by Scott. He was outnumbered 2-1, and to get a 50-50 there was fantastic.
Tap coming from Keys, and then the clearance from the Turtles, from Epping rather. Well, it definitely went on the full, but it was touched, as you said, Doug.
So saved the umpire, saved them there, and looked like it was going to be a free to Old Eltham Collegians, but it'll be a throw-in.
So boundary throw-in between wing and half forward here for Old Eltham. Tap coming from Borden. Moroney onto the scene. LaRossi right behind him. Have a ball up.
With about 10 minutes to go till half-time, this is a critical time for Epping. They get a goal or two. They go into half-time with the momentum, and the game is within reach.
LaRossi tries to extract it, hand it off to a teammate to do just that. Great punch from Ellis. Didn't get much purchase. It ricocheted back to him anyway. Got the kick. Couple of Epping players in there. Burns made a contest of it. Here's Wilkins. Just got it over to Middleton, to LaRossi. Couldn't shrug the tackle. Back to Wilkins now. Right foot ball towards the Alfonsi direction. Got hands onto it. He's been able to keep this ball in play. 70 out from goal. Here's a chance here now for Racklin. Good fly. Couldn't grab it on that occasion. Turtles with all the numbers. And a high free kick. He's going the direction of Daniel Racklin.
That was the best forward 50 entry for some time by Epping. It was to a dangerous spot. They moved the ball well from centre to half forward, and even though it was a bit lucky that they got the free, they sort of almost earned it from the fact that they were positive and attacking and went to that key 20 metres out slot angle type area. 45-degree
angle for Daniel Racklin, who probably hasn't had too much of it, but he's been great again in front of goal this year, 36 majors. This to break Old Eltham Collegian's goal-scoring run, and get the Blues back in the game. Slow approach. The 19-year-old comes in, 35 out from goal. Is that going to hang in there? It has. An important goal for Epping, courtesy of Daniel Racklin. And the Blues, they move to now 2-7-19. Old Eltham, a 5-2-32, have just hit time on in the second term, and maybe that's a bit of a spark needed for the Blues, Tim.
Yeah, it certainly is. They just needed that just to keep in contact in terms of the margin. They had a few easier shots throughout this second quarter. They weren't able to put through, and 2-7 certainly sounds a lot better than 1-7.
So we're back in the middle then. Can Epping get a bit of a run going here? Or will Turtles make them pay? No, it's going to be Epping who get another clearance this time. It's going to be an important bounce here for LaRossi, who's front spot. He tries to paddle it forward, but with a boundary line that wins on that occasion.
Yeah, now I was about to say Racklin's a pretty good kick for goal, but I thought I'd take pity on the Epping fans and not say it, and he did manage to squeeze it in. But that was a critical goal for Epping and gets them back in the hunt.
I did that yesterday in the other match, and we're not going to talk about it. So it's going to be Gillard that wins a tap, handballs it inside 50. Coming through now is Sirianni. Still a chance here now for Alfonsi, who just got the kick away towards the pocket. Tough one here for Latino. He's up against Johnston. And we'll have a deep boundary throw in here in Epping's forward 50.
Yeah, Johnston's been pretty good in defence for the Turtles, actually. He's a typical close checking type player, and he did his job then well.
Blood rule called here by the umpire. It's going to be, I think, Epping and Alfonsi is going to make his way off the ground. Something to do with his head. Hopefully he's okay. Trainer's onto the scene to make sure he's okay. We're now 22 minutes into this second quarter. 5-2 plays 2-7. So 2 more scoring shots here from the Blues. But they find themselves 13 points down still in this contest. Not long to go, you would think, in this second quarter. Only the 3 goals kicked between the two sides. Conditions not too bad. Still dark clouds hovering. But again, they're moving slowly away from Layla Reserve. We should be okay in terms of no rain. But it is Melbourne. Back in the middle. Front spot was Borden in the ruck contest. Hall ran straight into a pack of Turtles. And the umpire said holding the footy. So it's going to be Old Eltham Collegians that win this one back. It's Gavalucci now. Over to Russian McCoach. Clears his lines. Front spot is Taylor. He went to ground. And Johnston sees it out of bounds between wing and half forward for the Blues.
And once more, they're using that release handball or kick out to Rushton McCoach to get that long kick out of defence.
It's like a get out of jail free card, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just bomb it out of the 50. And
it takes 2 kicks to get back, basically.
Absolutely.
There's been a ruck infringement free kick. That's going to Epping. So they're going to get another inside 50 entry here. It's going to go back to Gillard by the looks of it.
Yep.
So Gillard, called to play on now. Sends the ball deep inside 50. Lots of players flying. Middleton, is that going to be claimed? Yes, it is going to be claimed. Corey Middleton on the second attempt.
Yeah,
juggled the mark in.
Not a noted high flyer, but that was a great pack. There was a big pack there, and to grab that as it was falling to ground was a fantastic effort. Now, this is a critical kick.
So,
having seen some of his teammates miss similar ones to this, if he can kick this, they're right back in the game and they'll only be, 7 points down.
Only 5 goals this year for Corey Middleton, but this, as you said, Doug, to make it a 7-point ball game as we tick towards half-time. Middleton will kick from 35 metres out. He comes in. He's got it. Another important goal. Back-to-back majors now for Epping. And they slowly reduce the deficit now. They move to 3-7-25. Old Eltham Collegians are 5-2-32.
Well, for his sake, I'm glad he kicked it because he was about 10 metres back further than he needed to be. But it worked for him and he put it straight over the goal umpire's hat. So now they're right back in the game. And Gillard's becoming a bit of a problem for the Turtles. If Gillard can just get the ball a little bit more into clear space for his teammate, he's winning most of the ruck contests. With Learson out, and this could be a critical part of the game.
You could tell that they're missing Learson at the moment, although Fleming is being solid. It's Cleary that's going to do the ruck work on this occasion. Gave it off to McCaffer, who then gave it off to a teammate, and that was immediately tackled. So we'll go again.
Yeah, and once again, Sirianni looks like he's the guy tagging McCaffrey at the moment in the second. Maybe they've got one guy each term doing it, perhaps. We'll see.
Ball gets tossed up. It's cleared away here by Cleary. That's going towards the boundary line. Can Wilkins get there? He can't. Umpire says, throw it in.
And the Epping fans were calling for deliberate while the ball was still in play there.
They were half already onto it, but it is going to be a boundary throw-in instead. Grabbing it out of the ruck is Cleary. Turtle send it inside 50. Bounce was poor for McDonough. He couldn't grab onto it. Turtle still trying to rush forward. Instead, it's Gleeson. He's going to get it out by hand. He finds Aquilina now. Just gets boot to ball in time. Gets it towards centre half forward here for the Blues. Gets away for all the way to the back of the pack. Rackland in trouble. Great tackle from Hugh Kavanagh. And holding the ball is the call.
Yeah, Rackland was in two minds there. He thought, will I try to have a long snap for goal from 40 metres out, or I looked for it and he grabbed the ball, turned around, and there was no one to give it to, and that little bit of hesitation cost him.
Another blood rule coming here. It's going to be Rackland coming off the ground. And now Fonzie, I think, is back on, ready to go.
Yeah, so. And Rackland went sort of head first into the turf there, so he might have just a small...
So Kavanagh's going to switch the footy to Johnston. He's on the broadcast side. He opted to go longer. And he finds almost Cardasano, who takes the mark. Has to get rid of the footy. Oh, maybe a bit unlucky not to be holding the ball. They're going to let things go. Murphy then is going to keep going for the Turtles. Sends it towards half forward. Gleeson got two hands onto it. Spills out the back here. Chance for O'Kearney. Back to Gleeson. They'll switch that ball. Dangerous though. And Epping will be able to take the mark. The relieving mark in defensive 50.
Now, I don't know if I believe my eyes here, but I just thought I saw Lee Judd hand pass directly to a Turtles player 10 metres in the clear.
Olivo is going to switch this footy. That's also dangerous, very dangerous. It's not going to get to his teammate. Applying the pressure is Cox. Can the Turtles get numbers here? Gill just got boots of ball, but it's cut off straight away by Wilkins. He's going to clear it down the line. No problems here for Adrian Alfonsi. Swings around on the right boot. That's a great kick. It's in front of Aquilina. Now will it bounce for him? Aquilina picks up the footy. 30 out from goal and closing, and he's missed to the right-hand side. Great opportunity again for the Blues. Margin, though, is now just 6 points. 3-8-26 to 5-2-32. 27 and a quarter minutes gone.
I feel like Aquilina might have had an extra second or two just to steady himself. He ended up snapping it a little bit rather than going for the drop pump running into goal.
But it was good ball movement by Epping, so that's the positive there.
It's the best we've seen this quarter, I think, from Epping.
Maroney was looking for Johnston, went over his head. Backing up, though, was Fitzgerald, but that will be the siren for half-time at Laylaw Reserve, and we have an intriguing elimination final on our hands. It is Old Eltham that will head to the main break, 5-2-32 to Epping 3-8-26.